Good morning, everybody.
Tega.
I'm back in the studio. Yes, you can check me out on YouTube. I'm back with my banging head. But
Yeah,
not only am I back, the NBA is back.
back.
Yes, those people very wicked people. They don't let you sleep. But the NBA is back. Tip off was yesterday. Some people got their rings, some people got their banners. Some people got nothing. So we'll be talking about what's happening in the NBA. We'll also touch on what happened in the UEFA Champions League. Quite a boring night.
Wow.
For most of 45 minutes, and then second 45, we had one or two goals that we could applaud.
Mm,
But pretty much it was not a remarkable night.
mhm.
And we hope that today will be a lot better. We'll talk about that. Um, we'll also touch a little bit on the Super Falcons. Yes, they're going to be playing against Ethiopia, and they've arrived. Well, most of the team has arrived in camp in Ethiopia. We'll touch on that a little bit. But before we do all of that, Omatseye, how can we be a part of this locker room?
So you can be part of the locker room by reaching us up on the WhatsApp platform on 0809 444 0981, 0809 444 0981 for WhatsApp messages. Then there is a YouTube family, youtube.com/ smooth 981 FM Lagos. You see us, we wave at you, we love you, we need the messages dropping over there.
All right.
Okay, so let's get into the mix, Tega. How do we go?
Let's start with the headlines and then we take it from there.
So let's pick up the on the bill this morning. Oshuala Nadioze, 17 other Super Falcons in camp for Ethiopia clash. As Darwin Arm says, LeBron James 29 minutes in line with Lakers' plan. As Maguire and Onana turned Jeers to cheers. I see the poetry there, Tega. Then Ateta worried if after Azu's injury mars superb display as PSG's games against Milan vital to qualify for group of death. Enrique is the one speaking. Then comes this one, injuries and Clasico, no excuse for Barca, says Xavi. And then also, Grealish's ability never in doubt, says City boss Guardiola. And then there is Rodrigo and Bellingham on target in win at Braga. That's like bragging right then.
All right, so we'll touch on all this a little bit, but it's just the way that people paid 100 million for Jack Grealish
Mhm.
just to be warming their bench,
Wow.
and nobody, they're not calling for anybody's head. Oh. We've heard all the people that haven't, the big money transfer that haven't really materialized,
Yes.
and then Jack Grealish just went silently under the radar. A
Mhm.
whole 100 million, just quiet like that. Anyway, we will land it today. All right, so let's start with the very first story and then we'll take it from there.
All right, Chega, I will begin with this one as Barcelona feminine forward Asisat Oshuala, Atletico Madrid star Rashidat Ajibade, and Paris FC shortstopper Chiamaka Nandoze are among 19 players who have arrived at Super Falcons camp in Addis Ababa ahead of the 2024 Olympic qualifier against Ethiopia.
Yes, so the Super Falcons in action, and it's been tough. We didn't go for last Olympics,
Mhm.
so this one we must go.
We must underline that's a
Yes,
pretty
so
word.
we have to be going
We have to be
right
quick.
there. We have to be going right there in France. But yeah,
I,
really, really huge qualifiers, and it's been tricky in the past few years because you think, with the way that the Super Falcons had dominated AFCON, that it'd be a breeze to qualify for the Olympics. But it's just been one team knocking us out after the other. But we face Ethiopia next, and a couple of injuries in the midfield. Uchebe is out with injury.
wow.
Halimatu Yinde is out with injury. Her replacement has been called up. So the engine room really is where the struggles is. So yeah, the superstars are around. Asisat, Rashidat, Chiamaka, who's been stopping penalties left, right, and
Michelle is
center.
coming in.
And Michelle is coming in. I said big names. It's men that, it's only men that always say that Michelle Alonso is a big name in Super Falcons. What's wrong with you people? You will leave this studio now.
I'm sorry, I behave now.
Because we know what's big about her, and it's not her name.
Oh
Anyway,
no.
so um,
Okay.
Your hands up,
Tega, don't help me now. Come on.
You surrender.
I surrender.
All right.
Come on.
But yes, defensively, oh, even Ohana is also out with injury, so a little bit of a question in there. But her replacement is pretty sound. But it's that midfield that you wonder how they're going to fare with the makeshift midfield. So it's not like we don't have players to take over the role. It's just that players that are not familiar with starting and not familiar with playing with each other. But I guess that's what the build up is. We're going to figure it out. But yeah, we play the first leg in Addis Ababa, then we come back to Abuja to play the second leg. So players already in camp. Hopefully this time we will qualify for the Olympics.
That leaves us to drift away from Addis Ababa, away now to the NBA, where Darvin, LeBron James opened up his 21st season by being limited to 29 minutes in the Los Angeles Lakers 119-107 loss to Denver Nuggets on Tuesday, as Lakers coach Darvin Ham said the tapered workload for the 38-year-old superstar is part of the team's plan moving forward.
Yes, so LeBron James is not a spring chicken. 21st season, 38 years old, the oldest man in the NBA at this point in time. In fact, let me tell you some of the fans. Oh God, fans are really horrible people. So halfway through the game, they're already losing. People start chanting, "Who is your daddy? Who is your daddy?"
Who's your daddy?
It was very bad. So LeBron has literally played with fathers and sons in this league already as it is. So it was not a nice thing to do. I don't like age shaming, but sometimes it's just ridiculous. But yeah, so as much as he wants to push his body, as much as he wants to get more minutes, the coach is like, no, we need you to play for as many games as possible. And so they're limiting his minutes and watching as it goes up. And with the limited minutes, he was still the highest scorer for Lakers with 21 points. Again, at the start of the game, they're talking about how AD has changed his diet, how he's working out, and how he's going to try to play as many games as possible and stay injury free this season. And he did very well, especially in the first half. He was leading the Lakers lineup with 17 points. Second half, it was 0 of 6. So so that's where the problem is now. Where those buckets going to come from the Lakers, because you're managing LeBron James time on court. AD, once they double team him, is game over. And that's pretty much what the Nuggets did. So same thing with Nikola Jokic. He struggled a bit in the second half after starting the game and being the all-time leading scorer on both teams with 19 points. Then they started double teaming him a bit, and the Nuggets stopped moving the ball around very well. And then he tapered off just a little bit, but he came back. He finished the game with 29 points. I'm still showing, still trying to prove that he's the best player in the league right now. But for the Lakers, the struggle is where the buckets will come from, especially as they have to manage LeBron James' time. But again, I will not be one of those that will castigate the Lakers again after what they showed me last season. Lakers were so poor at the start of last season. I was sure there was no way they were going to make the playoffs. They didn't only make the playoffs; they played all the way to the playoffs final, Western Conference Finals. Sorry, and so when a team pulls that kind of magic, you're very hesitant to criticize them in the early days. But yeah, not a very good night for the Lakers, but they're playing against defending champions Denver Nuggets, and it was a night that Denver Nuggets collected their rings. Of course, they had to put a star display.
Yeah, okay. So that looks like a fine place to drift away from the NBA as we head into the UEFA. This as it all panned out on Tuesday. Andre Onana saved a penalty in added time to give Manchester United a priceless Champions League victory at Copenhagen. United fans thought on Harry Maguire's first goal since February underline 2022 had given them the win they craved, but Scott McTominay conceded the penalty. Tell us about Onana.
Please, Harry Maguire is not a striker. He does not need to score. I need people to stop saying first goal since February 20. He's not a striker. He doesn't need to be scoring any goal. After all, we know some people that are playing in Liverpool that have never scored, and nobody's calling their name. But everybody just be picking on Harry Maguire. I'm so glad yesterday. How did they say it on the street now? He silenced his doubters. Yes. But yeah, it was such a fantastic night for Manchester United. Who would have thunk when this lineup came out that it will be a night of the rejected ones? That Harry Maguire will score a goal and Onana will save a penalty to give Manchester United precious 3 points. But it thing of dreams. You know, this is how they write movies. Nights like this make movie scripts. But it was an underwhelming night, and Manchester United needed to make a statement. Manchester United, if they had lost this, if in fact they had joined this match, they'd be on the brink. If they had lost it, well, there'd be a prayer. They'd require prayer and fasting to even stay in the Champions League. But they were playing at home against Copenhagen, and pretty much you'd say on paper with history, pedigree and all, Manchester United shouldn't struggle that much, but it was horrible. And people will blame Anthony and say Anthony wasn't doing much on the right. I keep asking, this Rashford that people increase the salary, what is he doing? I thought they paid increased salary for performance. How come Rashford's salary just increases just because it can increase? I want to work for Manchester United so that they just be increasing my salary without performance. I don't need to bring results. They just increase my salary. But very poor nights all round for Manchester United. Their build-up was slow. Their forwards were not clinical with the few half chances that they created. Their defense had to ward off a few chances that Copenhagen scored. But it all came down to the wire when Harry Maguire put the ball in the back of the net. Suddenly, the rejected stone became the savior. And then while we're just trying to get over that, Scott McTominay gave a penalty literally in the last minute. I was just like, Manchester United can't catch a break. Then Andre Onana. Andre butterfingered Onana. Andre that has given away cheap goals all season. He decided that last night was the night he was going to put on his cape. And he saved Manchester United's 3 points. So I would say fantastic result for Manchester United. Very poor performance by the team. But sometimes as a big name, you don't need to play well to get the points. It's just that Manchester United have not been playing well in a long time. That's where all the analysis come in. But we would like to hear your thoughts on Manchester United at this point in time. We've seen Erik ten Hag play and win, and we've seen Erik ten Hag play and lose. Is Erik ten Hag the guy to take Manchester United forward? We'll be taking your messages after this very quick break. We'll be right back.
My name is Eagle, the soulful voice in your ear, and you're tuned into the smooth radio for the best of everything music.
I want to sleep. I'm telling you, by the time that game finished yesterday, it was 3:11 a.m.
Whoa.
That's when I slept.
I see. They pay you allowance for people staying up late for these games.
I don't know what I'm going to do to myself because something tells me not to watch it all. And I should come in the morning and just check the highlights. But I can't. I've said it, I'm not a fan. I'm not a sports pundit, I'm a fan. Acting as a sports pundit.
So that how are we sure that you will not be partial now? If you are a fan. Your loyalty must be to one club then.
Not necessarily. My loyalty is to basketball.
Convenience, or just simply getting service that is designed
good
just for you.
basketball.
We thought you might like all of that and more. That is
Why are you picking up on the what's his name, Grealish? When after all, we know somebody who they paid to Saudi who got injury now.
No, that guy is injured, and there's nothing wrong with that guy. That guy is injured. This guy is not injured and he's collecting 200 million and he's just going under the radar. What's
So
that?
you want to out him and drag his leg out.
I'll have to drag him by the collar of his shirt. He owes us money. How can they spend the whole 100 million? You know, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's talking about it.
Future.
No, but it's not as if Grealish, when Grealish on a good day, Grealish himself is not like when he performs. You know now.
When they give him 100
Okay,
we have to drag it. Because I remember when Caicedo gave away a penalty. They said, after the 100 million.
Okay.
You know why he plays regularly.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish has not seen football pitch since. Leke. The coach had the nerve to come and say he doesn't, unlike most people, he needs more, he doesn't need just training to get back into form. He needs more.
Action-packed drama, Slum
If I pay you 100 million, you better be walking on water.
Whoa.
So we'll come back with these two messages.
Yes, we don't have any guys on YouTube. They're not here yet. Aderoba, who we used to drag.
No, we leave him. Chelsea is not in Europe. You cannot drag. You cannot shame the shameless. Okay, Aderoba, beard. Sorry.
There's nothing to be ashamed about this time. You are not in Europe.
You're not in Europe. We'll wait for the local championship for him to come outside.
Oh no. Sorry guys. Try harder next time.
So we'll come with these messages and then we'll continue.
One expert is offering a mind-blowing hyper bonus. Get ready for a gaming experience like no other. Place an accumulator bet and watch your winning soar. Our 1000% bonus. That's right, 1000%. So what are you waiting for? Visit onexbet.ng today. Use promo code HYPERNIGERIA to get a 300% bonus up to 189,218 naira and take advantage of the hyper bonus from OneXBet. Before, their problem is say our shoulder too high. They say make we lower our chest. Now, they wonder why we know they ever lack airtime, credit, and data on top our glow line. Whether cash day or cash not day. You they mind their broken people for this market? We know they call ourselves digital generation for nothing. I be to get airtime, credit, and data. Take sell plenty market every day, non-stop. Now your mate, whether cash you get our handle or you know do, we could just buy data and airtime credit directly from our bank account with the glow in of all.
Are we ready? Almost there. So, okay, we'll read all the messages. Let's not just do two. Let's read all the messages and then continue with the story. Hopefully, no more messages. More messages will come after we read all the stories. Let's read all
It
the
is
messages.
easy, quick, and available on your mobile app, ATMs, websites, leading retailers, and Glow World shops. Or download the Glow
sleep.
Cafe app to top up. Or dial *777#
Let's take a critical look at your lifestyle and the state of your health. With life in a city that hardly sleeps, so many people working hard and many more on the edge,
You put away me 2 minutes.
to happen.
No, I'm not playing.
System
This
shut
is
down.
2 minutes. You owe me 2 minutes.
Helping you discover facts about
What is
your
it?
health
How many
and
adverts will you
expanding
be
your
doing?
access
2
to
minutes.
well-being
Somebody
through
joins
relevant
inside. Honestly,
information.
about 6
Tune
hours
in to
going
Smooth
into
Health
it.
on the Drive.
We
and
will owe
make
me.
that connection with your
I'm going to
body.
talk to
Very
traffic.
interesting information I came across that I thought I should
The
share.
Smooth Health,
Welcome
every
back.
Thursday at 5:15 p.m.
It is still the locker room on Smooth 98.1 FM, and Tega Onojiafe is still here, giving us the post-mortem and dragging people by the collar of their shirts out. If you're earning as much as 100 million, Tega is dragging you today.
No, I don't used to drag rich people. I only drag people that don't perform. All right, so let's take your messages first. Let's start with this one from Cruz. He
Cruz.
says,
Tega, not a remarkable night care. Maguire scored in the right post for a change in a long time. So,
okay, that was a remarkable moment.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Harry, the great Maguire, showing his true mettle now at Man United. A pull through for the Red Devils again last night with a very important goal. That's very clear statement saying to the fans and the entire United management that I will remain here no matter what. AY from Oniru will stay here.
All right, Ibuku says,
Buku Tega, the goal by Maguire and the penalty saved by Onana do not cover for poor performances. Our strikers not scoring, midfield not working, and Rashford not being effective at all. And then what just goes on the other players, Hannibal are the only highlights in that team. Eric Ten Hag is doing a good job, but there are too many player issue and club issues on and off the pitch. Arteta came 8th in his first 2 seasons. Let Eric Ten Hag breathe. Ibuku from Ketu.
we should let him breathe. No, when you're in Manchester United, you don't breathe though.
Chayo.
You excel.
Onana and Maguire saving Man United, and the world isn't terraforming. I'm floxumed. I had to delete my old draft and start composing eulogy. These guys have me searching my thesaurus for the new words. Maguire has earned a 5-year contract extension for that act. Don't ask me if Rashidi can get the same. Let's not discriminate.
All right. So yeah, if you can get the same, let's not discriminate. We'll come back with more of messages. We see your messages, but send your messages too.
0809-444-0981.
And we'll be reading them after these stories.
Yes, so let's get to Arteta. Arsenal's coach Mikel Arteta said he was worried about Gabriel Jesus after the Brazilian forward was taken off with a hamstring injury in the 2-1 Champions League win over Sevilla on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Gabriel Jesus, because he started the season with an injury and now he seems to have picked up an injury. If it's really a hamstring injury, once they assess the situation, he's going to be heavily missed, considering the fact that for the first time in his life, I saw the Brazilian in him. Yes, I've been questioning if he's Brazilian. In fact, there are a few footballers, himself, Fred. I'm like, are you sure you're really from Brazil? Let's trace your everything.
Maybe Panama.
Let's know where you're
Nicaragua.
from. I'm not sure. Maybe you're from South America, but not necessarily,
Brazil.
But last night he was like, Tega, truly, my grandfather. I mean, he showed us a few.
Yes.
The build up to the first goal, the second goal he scored, and there were other moments during the game. The other chance that he gave to Martinelli, and Martinelli did not put in the back of the net. There are a few other moments that he showed his brilliance yesterday, and just it's not consistent, but when it pops out, you understand his importance to Arsenal. And the fact that Eddie Nketiah is not one of the most fantastic replacements for number 9 in that position is one of the reasons, if you're an Arsenal fan, you should be right down on your knees, speaking in tongues and praying for Gabriel Jesus not to have picked up a hamstring injury, because you want Arsenal to sustain this unbeaten streak, at least in the Premier League, to keep them in contention, at least for a title. So yeah, that was a bad moment for Arsenal, but it was a good recovery for the team. They lost at Lens the last time out, went to Sevilla this time, playing away at Sevilla in Europe. As much as it's the UEFA Champions League, it's still a tough travel. And Sevilla did make it tricky for Arsenal in the end, because they scored a goal to put them back in the game, and then they had that last minute chance that David Raya pushed over the bar. So it was a good result for Arsenal to come away with. It'd be sad though if they also come away with that injury, because Gabriel Jesus is pretty much important to the team.
Yeah. And that's also still staying with UEFA Champions League issues. PSG's game, Paris Saint-Germain's Champions League games against AC Milan are vital to their bid to qualify for a difficult group, Luis Enrique said on Tuesday ahead of the clash at Parc des Princes.
Yes, so today AC Milan taking on PSG. Both teams are struggling with different reasons, AC Milan, a lot of AC Milan fans are questioning the coach's choices, and not just what he did on the pitch, or what has happened also with buying of players during the summer transfer window. And then PSG is just suffering under the weight of their own lofty ambitions, because they never really built the team to give them that kind of delusional dream of winning the Champions League. So both teams are in a tough place now. Now, remember, last time out, PSG lost to Newcastle 4-1, and they're going to be looking to redeem themselves, and playing AC Milan back to back. You have to try and get some points so that you don't find yourself in a precarious position looking for qualification. So yes, Luis Enrique is having a tough time, and he'll be hoping that he'd be able to capitalize on all the struggles that AC Milan are going through. AC Milan is also looking at him with bombastic side eye and trying to capitalize on his own situation, so with all the pressure that is mounting on him. So it's going to be a tricky one, but yes, he's right. If he's going to go into the next round of the Champions League, he's going to have to get important points from the rest of the matches.
And that's still moving away to Barcelona cannot use their injury crisis and their upcoming league game against Real Madrid as excuse for a poor performance in a midweek Champions League clash against Shakhtar Donetsk. Coach Xavi Hernandez has won Tuesday.
All right. So, yes, they have mounting injuries, Barcelona, and then they have this small matter of the El Clasico over the weekend. Even when Real Madrid was playing last night, they played, but they also had they kept saying, "Oh, we are just focusing on this game. This is the game. This is where our mind is 100%." But you could tell the guys are licking their lips, waiting for El Clasico. So it's a tricky one, especially for Xavi Hernandez, because both games are important, and regardless of how much you say you're going to take it one game at a time, it doesn't matter. You have to put in mind the long-term plan. So as much as you say, let's focus on Shakhtar Donetsk, you will still have to think about the El Clasico over the weekend because you want to win that. Barcelona, just 1 point behind Real Madrid, and you don't want a gap to open up in your bid to defend your title. So that's going to be on his mind. And then the injuries are going to be on his mind. The good news for Barcelona is they've won the 2 matches that they've played so far in the Champions League. As much as that's not the greatest position to be, they are not necessarily in a bad place like they were last season. And Shakhtar Donetsk, yes, is a team that can give you tough times, but it's a team that, at least on paper, you can match toe to toe with. So I think that's what he needs to think of. If you ask me, because of the gravity of the El Clasico, I know somebody will say, but it's 38 games in a league. Because of the gravity of the El Clasico, and the fact that Barcelona are in a good place, this is the day I will make I will mix my team. I'll try something new. I'll give somebody a chance. You haven't played in a while. Holla at your girl. Come and play. That's what he has to risk. But yeah, he's in a precarious position right now.
That's a nice place for us to get to Man City this morning, as midfielder Jack Grealish must seize any opportunity he can to force his way back into Man City's starting lineup amid healthy competition for places in the squad. The manager, Pep Guardiola, said ahead of their Champions League clash against young boys.
Exactly. They're playing against young boys. If Jack Grealish cannot make the team against young boys, they have to give Manchester City the balance. Because I can't pay 100 million for you and you just be sitting on the bench collecting breeze. And I think, Pep Guardiola, he said something when he was making this statement, and he was talking about, that Jack Grealish is not like Bernardo Silva or other players that they need a training or two to come back into form. Yeah. That Jack Grealish needs more. I'm like, 400 million. You need more if they bought you for 47 million. Then you're 100 million, you have to be walking on water.
Which of them? You have to be having, which of them are
euros? You have to be waving a magic wand.
Yeah.
You have to. Was it euros or pounds? It must have been 100 million pounds. That guy was just ridiculously expensive for.
I get it.
For what he was not. So, and nobody has been picking on him since. They've picked on Caicedo. They say, Caicedo gave him a penalty his first match. How can you pay a lot of money for that? They picked on Declan Rice too.
Yes.
But somehow everybody has been silent on the money they used to. In fact, they picked on Raheem Sterling. But everybody has been silent on the amount of money that they used to buy for Jack Grealish. Everybody has just glossed over it like nothing happened. If he cannot make the team against young boys, his agents had better be making calls to Aston Villa and wooing them again.
Looking like that point where Keith Daniel will say, wake up, don't sleep. City, collect your money.
Collect your money. They're all balanced. How can you spend that kind of money and somehow nobody is talking about the player, nobody is talking about the money? Where's the accountability?
Okay.
All right. On that note, we have run out of time, so let's just read through the messages because they're coming.
Rain of messages here. That says Emeka from Amuwo, for potentially getting totally eliminated from Europe. Harry Maguire scored the goal that could send United into Europa League. Onana and Maguire will walk into today's training with plenty shakara.
As for
Gabriel Jesus, what a player. Hope his injury isn't long term. Next, we get this one from Shegun from Mina. I think that Man United should exercise a little more patience with Tega, just like Arsenal did with Arteta. Everyone can be Postecoglou that come and hits the ground running immediately. Man U needs to beat Copenhagen away to stand a chance of making it out of that group, because getting points against Bayern at Old Trafford and Galatasaray away will be extremely difficult. That's it. Big E from K2 says, Tega, yesterday was a night of glory for Man U. Both Onana and Maguire spark of the fire yesterday, and now both rejected players become the men of the match. That match looks like the favorite episode you wait on Telemundo, and Rashford is on too much comfort, and my darling Arsenal from two Brazilian boy proof to be the star boys of the match. AY is back here for us. Jeremy Doku has come to take Jack Grealish's spot permanently. That's just the honest truth. AY from Oniru.
And they should give us our balance now.
We want to collect our
We
money.
want to collect our money. All right, let's just take this message from Chimaovi Victor. He says, "Good morning, guys. Tega, truth be told, Barcelona know they won't win the El Clasico as they will lose. While for my Arsenal, they silence most of their critics with the way they were getting results week in, week out. Thank you for not keeping silent on the Jack Grealish story." And I saw some messages on YouTube. This is Ibrahim Hassan. He says, "Oh, he's just saying that they're on YouTube, but they don't have gist for us for now."
No.
All right. On that note, we want to say thank you for watching us on
Yeah.
YouTube and sending in your messages on YouTube. We also say thank you for listening to us in the locker room and then sending in your message on WhatsApp until we meet you again. Meet you on Friday.
Tega.
Friday. All right.
Have a great day, Tega. And it's a wrap inside the locker room. My name is Omatseye Atsenuwa. Good morning.
We'll meet you on Friday. See you on Friday. My chicken pie.